Mic check 1 2 1 2. Good evening, everyone. Good evening, Willie.
All right.
How you doing, sir?
Pretty good, pretty good.
Thank you for coming on the show.
Yes, sir.
Welcome, welcome to the Pit Pass Show, guys. The season wrap up. I'm Michael Mercadal, and wow, we're there. That's watching live, and hopefully they'll be watching this. If you didn't catch it live, you'll go back on YouTube. This is on our YouTube channel. In fact, before we get going good, I'm going to do something that Brooks always does. He kind of sits back and he shares it a bunch of times to get it onto Facebook, and I think I should do that. But meanwhile, you guys were out here testing today.
Yep.
Talk to me on how testing went.
Nah, for the most part, for me, testing went pretty good. Just wanted to test a new motor in one of the cars that I built, and then a different tune I've kind of been playing around with, and just want to get more, comfortable with it, and with the, how tos, what tos, and what not tos, and so I mean, I ran some good, decent numbers considering, the temperature started off cool, it got hot or warm. Track temp when we first started was like 56 degrees, and then it wound up getting up to about like 95.
Oh, wow.
And then obviously, as soon as the sun went behind the building, it dropped back down to the, the 60s within like, 10 minutes.
Come on.
So yeah, but no, all in all, it was
It was a pretty good day. I'm old school. I'm trying to dry tire. I'm old school. I'm trying to dry tire, and I'm doing it dry tire. But I'm gonna come around and do it like everybody else. Do some conditioner.
Hold on, let me get my microphone on. And Willie, there is nothing more than what we would like is for you to actually be competitive in this rubber tire world. I know that you were more of a foam guy.
Yep.
At one
foam,
time.
foam to the end. Love that foam.
And unfortunately, at least as of now, it is kind of to the end. We don't know what happened. I know what happened. Mike Smith foam went away.
Yeah, exactly. My big brother, when it seemed like when he stopped making them, everything started going down.
It really seemed that way. It's a shame because, Mike Barge at the Crybaby race, I think it
Yeah.
was on Friday, or maybe it was at our Texas finals or what have you. He went out there and blistered the track. Went one.
127.
It was quicker than that, I think. I know he went 140 miles an hour because he made
yeah.
sure he geared it.
Yeah.
Yes, it was a 127 because it. And I remember calling it, saying, "Wait, there's something wrong," and he goes, "No, there's not." He knew what he was doing when he tuned it, say, low on the bottom end. And you guys, excuse me for just a little bit. I'm actually sharing the feed. I'm not being rude. We just have a lot of places we want to share this because what we want to do is we want to talk about the 2025 season. I don't know if you traveled to Florida this year, but I know Willie did, and I think Willie has never missed the Gators.
I missed the second gator, but that was it. The first one, and I missed the second one, then the rest of them I called them.
Got you.
Yeah.
Well, he's an honest man. I would have just said, I'm just kidding. It's hard to keep up with whoever. Put it like this: I know I didn't miss any of them. Right? But okay, so I've shared it around a little bit. So, gosh, there's just so much to unpack. I do have some notes here as well. We talked about your testing and tuning today while we were getting set up. For you, Willie, what does it mean to, at least for now, for the unforeseen future, not go back to Florida? Florida was a very special place for me.
Yeah, it's kind of hard and stuff because Florida is home for me, and when I go there, I see family. You know what I'm saying? My RC brothers and sisters, they family to me. And they friends. And when I make a friend, I'm a friend to the end and stuff. And and then I'd be glad to see them and stuff. And then the kids, my little brother and little sister, you know, they, uh, they like my trailer and stuff, and all that. It touches me, when I see the kids and they ask about my trailer, and all my cars look alike. So I think I'm gonna do it one more time, and that's gonna be it.
I hear you. Well, and on the subject of Florida, I literally have this, on my notes to start with Florida, because Florida, as we all know, an amazing competitors there. They have a strong sense of foam there, so they don't need Mike Smith foam tires. They're doing their own thing, and they've kept it alive. You have Carlos Saez coming all the way in from Alabama. You have the Miller, that David Miller. Wait,
No, Dwayne.
Dwayne Miller. He didn't make the last part of the season, and we missed him. But you have a strong group of bracket racers there. Heads up foam, heads up rubber tire. The rubber tire scene for Florida fell off big time, and I'm not exactly sure why. I think AJ scared them all away or something like that. That dang AJ guy, man. Right. He was doing dry tire stuff before there was dry tire as it is now. I mean, don't get me wrong, 2023 had dry tire. But AJ took it to a different level, dude. He was out there testing, going in the 140s consistently.
147 at 98, I believe.
Yeah.
If I remember right.
And you were paying attention.
Oh, yeah. Taking notes.
Yeah, taking notes, writing them down, taking pictures of it. So, gosh, Alan Cryer, he's like Mr. Automatic.
Yeah.
I would never bet against Alan Cryer, man. Never, There's so many guys down there that were just coming into their groove. Bobby Ifredi, at the last race of the season, won his first event, dude. Oh my gosh, we were all so happy for him. I have to play the role of non-biased. Even if my son was racing.
Yeah.
Right.
And this guy, we couldn't help but cheer for him. It's always good to see someone that's been trying as hard and long as he had to go out there and get the
and I seen my brother Joe.
Joe Roman?
Yes.
Oh man, champion of champions right there.
And when I started this, I started with a couple guys in Florida. And Joe, and I met him, he wasn't that fast. And now, he took it to a different level and stuff. And I learned from them guys. Him, Carl Blue, my big brother Roy, and Steve, and Larry. They got me into this, and I never looked back.
No kidding. Yeah, you told me your story once about where Pocket Change came from, and that was a very moving story and example of how that changed you for the better.
Yes,
and I appreciate you sharing that story with me. You guys ever want to know where did Willie Thomas get the name Pocket Change? When you see him at a race, because you will, simply ask him. He'll be more than happy to share it with you guys.
More than happy to let you know.
Some guys still cleaning up back there. Thought they were shooting at us. I'm from South Central, man. Y'all can't be doing that noise behind me, man.
Duck.
So, gosh, I can go on and on about the competition there. We have, Jonathan Joyner. Never bet against Jonathan Joyner.
Oh,
Gemini Racing. So many good guys out there. Chewy himself could never really be. He's like me. Never can really be competitive. He's always helping everyone.
Exactly.
But he did win a championship through his niece DJ. DJ went back-to-back Young Gunner champion, and he tunes on her car. But he does give her some leeway. She does do, some things herself. So, congrats. I don't have a list, but I will. I will have a list here in a second because I think it's important because something is going down. I put it in writing, guys, for those of you that did not maybe read the write-up, but due to my health, we are unable to fulfill what I feel like the obligation of not only the Gator RC Nationals, but the champion ceremony at the Gators, and that kind of broke my heart. But I'm going to be out of commission even here for most of the year. I'm hoping to be back. My goal is to be back for the U.S. Super Nationals, and much like we did at the Gators, we always celebrated the champions at the Gators, regardless of when the Gators happened in Florida. It was a way to award them, not only to award them, but to celebrate them in front of a larger crowd.
Right.
You know, they've done an amazing feat to win a championship,
exactly.
and it's so competitive there. You know, and so we always wanted to do it here, but our big race is later in the year.
Right.
You know, and with things going on, we unfortunately will have to suspend the Gators indefinitely, which unfortunately it also means their championship ceremony. And I take that very serious because that's what the RCDRO is really all about. It's about a points championship. I just don't know any other way around it. I think it's extremely disrespectful to put something in the mail.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Or
Like,
maybe
here,
it
you
might
know,
not
like
show up.
here you go, or it might show up in 1,000 pieces, you know. But and so for me, that's not an option. And believe me when I say I will fulfill the RCDL promise to have a celebration. I don't know when it's going to be, but I want to congratulate the all-run bracket winner, Brian Miller. Man, thank you so much for sending me that uplifting video of your kids the other day. Man, feel free to do that anytime, especially after surgery. They're saying I'm going to be in the hospital for 7 to 10 days, maybe longer, but that's the estimate. And then recovering for 6 months to a year. So I could definitely use some videos and well wishes from all of you guys. Carlos Saez, man, congratulations on the Pro Mod Championship. Pro Mod X went to Jose Carrion. Jaden Roman, Jaden, we're talking about Jaden in Pro Stock, won the championship. In Pro Stock dry tire, so it's kind of like the Extreme Pro Stock, a little different. It went to Gordo, Gordo's first championship. Congratulations, Gordo. I was so happy to see him win. And a multi-year champion, Jonathan Joyner in Quick 16. Jonathan Joyner again in Street Eliminator. I wonder how many, when we were interviewing him, he said how many championships he won. And I forget at this moment. AJ won Street Dry Tire, but I think it was an exhibition thing, so it wasn't necessarily a class. But Joel Roman, he took home Top Alcohol Drag Strip. We were just talking about foam tires there. And in Top Alcohol Funny Car, Carlos Zayas, he was smoking, man. It was so good to see Bobby Ifredi out of nowhere. I think it was a double points race, and that kind of. We're going to talk about you in a minute about double points. He's on the competition committee. He said that's going to get 86th and 26th. But Bobby took a second place in Top Alcohol, and like we talked about earlier, congratulations to DJ Blanco, Chewy's niece. She won, went back-to-back, defended her championship in Young Gunner. So, guys, give these guys a round of applause. Congratulations, man. And like I said, I don't know when I'm going to be back, but I was in the middle of working with Eileen and Biggie Paul and Ivan, and we were at James Cannon trying to get the Gators to Okeechobee.
Oh, that'd be nice.
You know what I mean? And so it's a track that has dry or say no prep going in one direction. They have prepped in the past. I've talked to multiple people down there, like Mike Little, absolutely work. And we wanted to keep it on the down low because there was a lot of logistics, a lot of things that needed to take place. And then I would say we were maybe 2 or 3 weeks in when I sat in that chair at the doctor's office and got the news that no one ever wants to hear. So I'm not even going to say that word on this on the Pit Pass show, but if you guys read my message, you know what I'm talking about. Anyway, so I had to contact them and say thank you, but due to my health, we had to we're going to have to postpone indefinitely any further travel racing that involves the RCDRL. And so with that, I do apologize, guys, but this is obviously beyond my control. Yeah, big shout outs to the entire team there, though. 6 years. I kept saying 5, but we counted it. It was actually 6 years being there. It was 2020 is when we actually started, not 21. And they, it was really sad. I made that song, and it came on last night. I'm running through YouTube, looking at the 20. I didn't even realize we had a 2013. Banquet. That's our first year, and we had an indoor dress-up banquet in 2013. I thought that started in 14 or 15. I just happened to be on YouTube, and I typed in RCDRL, and for some reason, first the song for Florida came on. I'm like, oh man, I'm gonna get emotional, whatever. I already missed those guys. And then right after that, it was a 2013 banquet.
And that's why I met RCDRL at the banquet.
No, that's right, because you said that you didn't race that year, but you came to the banquet.
Yes, I came to the banquet.
You heard about the free food, man. Yeah, but you have been with us ever since.
Ever since then,
man. No kidding. And yeah, that was a mess. We did a free food thing, not you, but it was a mess. People came out of the woodworks. There was all kind of folks there that I never seen before. The first time, last time we ever did that. But as far as offering for free, we did it every year. But it was a good deal, and I look to try to bring that back. Maybe not in 26, obviously, but in the future, that one day.
Right.
Once a year, we dress up.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? In fact, I posted the picture of Joel Shipman dressed up.
That guy, right?
Yeah. Cleans up well. The rest of the competition committee could not be here tonight. That does consist of our new vice president of operations, Joel Shipman. Piggy LeBoux, second vice president, is here, of course. RC Corvette, J.B. Henson, he's unable to attend. And Mo Bell was here pretty much all day, but his wife had him in the scopes. Yeah. He won't stand still.
Yeah.
And so he had to leave and go spend some time with his lovely wife, who literally rolled up on him. Mm-hmm. So, but thank you for loaning him out to us as much as you do. You're an absolute doll. So, like I said, I could do a show just on Florida all day long, but this is a show that encompasses the entire league. I don't really want to spend a lot of time on this new diagnosis of mine, so I want to skip over that, and I'm going to talk to Piggy now just for a moment. Piggy, from the beginning of this season, let's like in your mind, close out 2024. You won. I think you won Rookie of the Year, then you come back and you win Driver of the Year. What were your expectations this year?
Wow. For me, shoot. Well, first off, I can say I didn't think I was going to succeed as well as I did in Outlaw, just knowing the competition and kind of, where I was at with things. And, I just, Brooks and JB and Super, they, twisted my arm and kind of like, hey, come on, man, you got it, just we'll help you, we'll guide you through. And so that's what I just kind of focused on and did a lot of testing on it. And I think it was my second event. I won the A bracket. I was like, all right, I still got to go run the B bracket. And, I wound up doubling up. I went in the A and the B bracket.
That's right.
And the last 3 races, but that's, just the learning curve, I guess, because just the weather itself, the temperature, and you could test all day on the street, for, in that condition, but you don't have the track spray or prep, so it just threw everything off for a curveball, and but if I would have went just one more round, in either A or B, we wouldn't have had the fiasco at the end of the season.
But you know what, man?
It made it awesome. It was awesome. I ain't gonna lie.
Your daughter, my stat girl was so worried about the drive home.
Oh
She was
man.
like, oh my gosh, oh my gosh, oh my God, Dad,
Uh,
please, man. You went out, like you said, first round, at the last 3 events, like
Yep.
you almost,
Yep.
you imploded in a sense, your program did.
On myself.
And it, no diaper.
Nope.
But what was amazing though at the end is something that you said that you still exceeded your expectations from the beginning of the year, and it's going to make you that much hungrier.
Mm-hmm.
If you would have won the championship, your first time or your first year going outlaw
Exactly.
racing,
Exactly. It's kind of hard for me to put into words, exactly, but I don't know, it makes it bittersweet, I guess maybe, because if I would have won, it's kind of like, yeah, I done did it all.
Yeah.
Well, now I still got like, next year,
Next year, you're
y'all
coming for 'em.
better still be on the game.
But I
'Cause
think all of us were
Yeah.
so happy for
for Mikey B,
Mike Bisiglia.
Oh, man.
My goodness. I thought
man, it was. I'm glad it kind of came down to me and him because back in March, when we started discussing, A and B is going to be separate until the last race if needed. I remember going into his trailer, just chit chatting with him, seeing how he was doing, and we got in conversation about that. And he's kind of like, Piggy, it's going to be me and you racing off at the final race.
I remember him saying that at the final race.
Yep.
Remember, Piggy, I
Yep.
said this? Yeah.
Yep. And what you call it, and it wound up working that way. I mean, I asked him for the Powerball numbers for tonight's drawing, but that didn't happen yet. But but no, I mean, I'm glad he won it. Well deserved.
Yes.
He put a lot of work into his program over the years, and it's not always the fastest guy that's going to win. And I can kind of say, for me personally, I kind of got my mindset was wrong to where it's kind of like I know I could run numbers, and I was always trying to run those numbers versus just trying to go A to B. And once I kind of realized, hey man, it ain't about numbers no more. Just get back to your way of racing, your style of racing, and that's just A to B. Don't worry about who's in the other lane.
If they beat you, they beat you.
Just exactly. Just focus on your game and just A to B passes, and just hopefully the car comes back in one piece. That's the main thing.
Yes, indeed.
know.
Yes, indeed. Yeah, this year for me, it was weird. I raced a little bit, and I actually went rounds when I raced, but I truly enjoyed this new multimedia stuff that we're doing, and in cameras, and that's a whole nother beast. Mo was
Yeah.
like, "How do you do this?" So, at the Crybaby race, he sat there, and I'm like, "Dude, while you're there, stay there and just play with the cameras and monitor them because it is a little much." And you know what? That might be my introduction back
Right.
to racing in 26, even if I have to get on top of the container. I know B-Rad was here earlier, and we were talking about some things that I would love to implement, but I'm going to come back slowly. It definitely won't be before May for sure, and if Mo has anything to do with it, it won't be till June. But I'm going to be trying to sneak back here in May. I'm just going to say that now, but I will indeed follow doctor's orders because even Annette has threatened my life. And by the way, Annette, thank you for coming to the Crybaby race. We didn't think we needed you as much as we did. We knew we needed you on Friday.
Correct.
Well,
Correct.
actually, we didn't know that Ariana was even coming Saturday at first. And then when she heard Annette's coming, she was like, "Oh, I want to meet Annette." But we wound up really needing them. And it was a busy day with racers that just were unfamiliar with drag track.
Right.
So, but yeah, I said all that to say she threatened my life too. I better not. I better follow doctor's orders.
Shoot.
Yeah, I appreciate that. I'm going to be quiet real quick, and so I can go over some notes if you guys want to.
Well, I do remember Piggy saying when he first started this, he said, they don't want me to get in the outlaw, and they got him in, and he been going up to the top ever since.
I appreciate that. I mean, for me, it was just, kind of to surround myself with the best people, in that class. I mean, Team Super all the way around. I mean, my first, big race was what you call it, Super Chips.
Yeah,
And
with Oklahoma,
I guess you would say
yes.
like on the national circuit, I guess you would say. And, brought my dad with me. And
And your dad did good up there too.
yeah, my dad, I want to say the B bracket, he made it to the final against Super.
Yeah.
And he just got a little trigger happy when they said watch the lights.
Yeah, he
and
realized it.
he bumped the trigger. But no, I mean, we had a good outing. I mean, I made it to the top 8 in the A bracket. My dad obviously, top 2 in the B bracket. But just just a learning experience, because it's just, when you have that many racers there, the way the starting line gets, and then Super was there, maintaining the starting line, so it made it consistent. But it was just everybody like, hey man, you need anything, because when you start going rounds, you just get mind boggled, and you're just kind of like, man, should I do this? Should I do that? And they'll kind of like, just chill and just do you. Just don't overthink anything. Just keep everything the same. The car's running good, the starting line's the same, just leave it. I mean, I want to say my dad, he was running, mid 1.4s, and he was, with everybody that was still, in the race. And I mean, I was the slower one between me and my dad. I was only running low 50s.
Yeah.
And I was the one trying to turn everything up, but I was like, well, how much do I go? Should I do this? Should I do that? And I want to say I wound up losing the junior. And I ran a 47 to, I think, not my bad. I ran a 50 to his 47, and we were like what on the tree. So I mean, it was a good race, but went back and looked at my log, and it's kind of like, yeah, I probably could have did this, but obviously you don't want to, I'd rather have the car go down the track than versus spinning the tires off the hit and be like, that didn't work.
Right, right.
So
Hitting the wall, crossing over,
right.
any of those things. So yeah,
Yeah.
no, that's for sure.
I think this year, next year, I think I'm gonna take it a little more serious. To me, I just like to have fun. I don't care if I win or lose.
You gotta have fun first.
Yeah, you
First and
definitely wanna
foremost,
have
you gotta
fun
have
first.
fun.
We all would love to see you pay a little bit more attention to detail.
Yeah.
Yep.
Less classes, more detail, and like what the guys were saying, B-Rat was saying, dude, tires is everything. Yes, your weight, balance, your chassis, but what touches the ground is those tires, man. If those tires aren't right, it ain't gonna be right.
Yeah.
Every now and then, you'll knock a home run out of there, but we would love to see you consistent.
I know. Me, it ain't about consistent. I just want to get out and just have fun and stuff. If I see the car go down, if it hit the wall, long as I left the starting line, I'm happy.
Dig it. Self-aware man, I definitely respect that. But yeah, we would love to see you. We'd love to see you knocking them out the park. Sorry guys, I'm just I'm checking Facebook. I was hoping that you guys could let me know if we sound okay. Probably should have done that first.
Man, like 30 minutes ago. No.
Right. Let's see how long we've been going. 26 minutes, yeah, about 30 minutes, yeah. But I mean, I can see the meter. The meter is moving. I just hope there's no static in the background. So it's the first time we've really
Besides
using
the
this
airplanes
setup.
changing their direction there.
Yeah, exactly. They're American, I tell you. So one of the things that I wanted to address with the competition committee is a little bit of what we're talking about for 2026, and these guys are working hard, guys. We meet weekly, just discussing topics, looking at analytics, and really trying to make sure that we learn from not necessarily mistakes, just the challenges that we had in 2025. There's a lot of changing going on. There's a lot of, classes that just are underperforming. When we tried some new things in 25 with the whole A and B bracket thing, it gave us and the racers an opportunity to almost have like a buyback situation.
Yeah, right.
And that's what the guys on the outlaw side are used to.
Yeah.
But I think, and it definitely came from me, I think it was a mistake that we kept A and B separate. You know what I mean? I think this coming up year, I think they need to do a runoff. you know, and you guys chat for a second.
Yeah.
Well, I guess
I ain't good by myself, man.
Yeah, right.
No.
Well, I guess I'm about to bring my car to the Piggy Garage. Next year, I'm mostly gonna focus on my kids. And I think I thought he had won, and she beat him out by 1 point.
Yeah, right.
I told him, I said, you the champion.
Yeah.
Then your sister told him, say, well, oh, she beat him out by 1 point.
Wow. Uh-oh.
Yeah, I felt so bad about that, you know. But you know what? After the initial confusion, he handled it like a champ.
Yes.
He really did. He was happy for his sister. But I was like, oh, man. It's just, you're looking at so many things and you're trying to double the points and you're doing this. And I believe it was your sister that was helping me.
Yeah.
And she's the one that made the correction almost in real time. She was like 7 seconds late. I opened my big mouth. It was like an Anthony, you know, is the champion. You know, and I think, you know, next year we talked about points and a half. That's even harder.
Yeah.
That's even harder. That ain't gonna happen. We either gonna do double points. We're talking about, and we would like to hear from racers that are going to be part of the 2026 season. We love constructive criticism. I think it's important. And one of the things that we'd like to see payouts for 4 rounds or more, which means that ninth car constitutes a 4 rounds. From 9 to 16 is 4 rounds of racing. And if you're less than that, then no. But I would like to see that happen in 2026. You know, we're trying to make it make sense, right? Yeah. But that's something that I would like to see, and I think some of the racers will. There's a lot of racers that can care less about that, but I think more and more, racers would like to see a payout. You know, not only just in outlaw, but in bracket and in index. Yes. There's going to be definitely less classes in 2026. As soon as we figure out which ones they are going to look, there's so many classes that has just been here since the beginning that we're having to take serious looks at. And for me, I've been around. My membership number's number 2, right? So I've been around for a while. It's going to be hard to see certain classes go. Yeah. You know, and I think we talked about Quick 16. Yep. It just completely.
Yeah. In the last 2 events, you know, I was the only one that was entering.
Yeah. And so.
But at the same time, I know you were talking about like the A and B bracket with the outlaw.
Yes.
When you introduced the B bracket to it, that kind of took a lot of those guys out of the quick because they were using the quick, you know, for the data. And then by them entering quick originally pushed out a lot of the bracket guys. Yeah, correct.
The guys. So it was kind of catch-22. Here's the thing, and even though I'm going to have limited access to the 2026 season, we can make revisions. Let's say for some reason, and maybe not be quick, but we make a move, we make a call. It's just us, meaning we can reverse that if the competition committee sees fit, if enough racers, you know, I've always said, if a bunch of motorcycle RC guys show up, we're going to make a class for you.
Right.
You know, I mean, obviously.
You can use Extreme for that scenario.
Yes.
You know, because, I mean, Extreme, you know, they came out and just played around. Yes. And then, you know, it was kind of like, hey, if we have enough racers show up, can we make it a class? And I remember you telling them, it's kind of like, and they came out, and I want to say they had like 10 or 12, you know, show up, I think, for the first race. Right. And then from there, it's kind of like, okay, and it continued for a few races, and then, bam, it became a class.
Man, what I really like about Extreme Pro Stock are the guys that are actually in that class are promoting their class. They've taken ownership
Correct.
of that class.
Yep.
Mo Bell, Marcus Champion, Q. Between the two of those guys, Marcus and Q, in these videos, and they're just pounding the promotions. And that's, man, we had that for all run, and we had that for street eliminator. We had that for this one. We had that for that one.
right.
You know, it would be amazing. But I applaud them, and I make sure that I say that often because that's exactly what this league needs is ownership from individual racers. That hey, man, this is my class. I want to build my class. I want to protect it from getting 86, you know,
Exactly.
you know, and you know, I know it hurts your heart that a lot of the foam tire stuff went away,
Yeah.
and a lot of the racers have just simply gone away that you used to be in tight battles with on the foam tire side, and so I definitely applaud them for what they're doing. I'd love to see more of that, and that's a perfect example. You know, usually a class has to go through one of the bracket classes because we don't, you know, it doesn't matter whether it be all run or quick. You prove yourself through those classes, but they came at me with enough racers, just the minimum, to say this is what we want to do, and okay, you know,
Right.
we tried it out, and it's probably the most successful class, other than Outlaw, was very successful this year, you know, and it started out of nowhere.
That's
Yeah.
right.
You know, if you guys out there have a class and you want to introduce it, you know, build it first, present it. We'll make it an exhibition class at first. You gotta turn in your you can't have a moving goalpost. You gotta know what you want, present it to Piggy or, you know, Joel, RC Corvette, Mo Bell. Let the competition committee grab it, chew on it for a little while, and if nothing else, you just simply build your class through all run or you know, whatever classes that it can fit into based on the existing rules. We will have a deadline set for what classes will be sanctioned in 2026. We're not there yet, guys. Look, we want to take our time. We want to do it right. We don't want to rush anything because we really, if I could help it, everything will be 4 rounds. We want to see healthy classes.
Right. I mean, yeah.
You know, yeah.
That's, I mean, kind of, you know, my thoughts with, you know, like the box stock stuff, or open box. I mean, I ran it for for 2 years, and it almost was just the same. I hate to say it, but 3 people, you know, entering and racing that class.
Yeah.
And it's kind of like, Now, this is only my perspective and my opinion on it, but it's kind of like, I don't want to run this because it's like going to McDonald's and eating the same thing every day.
That's a
And it's
good
kind of like, you know, a double quarter pounder meal, large with a Coke, you know.
I
So
cooked
it's- but it's, you know, so I mean, no offense to anybody, but it's, you know, what fun is that? Now, granted, yeah, you're out here racing, you know, and you're racing with your buddies and your friends, but is it really fun? You know, it's just my opinion, my perspective on it.
No, I
But-
think that's a well-said opinion that probably many of us could echo. It is no fun, and that's not what this league was built on. You know, before Willie can attest to it. You know, before you guys found us, I'm so glad you guys did because the Luke family is amazing across the entire scope of you guys, from you know, your dad, your mom. Lovely, just love her to life. Your entire family, but you know, before you guys, yeah, like Joel says, man, we had 5 rounds in all run all the time. Everyone used to be like, "Oh, all run," you know,
Yeah,
like,
right.
here we go. We're about to be out here for another hour and a half.
Yeah, right.
That's one of the reasons why all run only has 1 round of qualifying. It was so large,
Right.
You know,
Well, I remember
but-
my first year with that, it was, you know, it was like 20 plus
yeah,
entries.
so there you go.
You
Yeah.
know, and
as
it
soon
was
as you get
just
to
like, man.
17, boom, that's
And that's when they
5
were
rounds of
saying, like,
racing.
all run, if you won the championship in all run, that's like, you did something.
Yeah,
Yeah.
right.
You know,
You did.
because it's kind of like the competition you had to go through.
Yeah.
You know.
And as good, I got to go back to Florida for a second because you just said that. As good as the competition is in Florida, I got to give a shout out to Lexi Polk. You went out there, I think your first or second year, and you won both Young Gunner and all run bracket. I want to say she came back and backed it up and said, you know what?
Drop mic.
He
Mic
just
drop.
dropped the mic. And, yeah, she's riding horses and working at the zoo. But yeah, you know, All Run used to be that class, and so
yeah, it
we
really
looked at
was.
we looked to try to get some of that luster, well, you know, that back, and yeah, just looking for ideas. If you guys have ideas, you know, shoot them to us. You know, private message me, and I'm gonna be around. I don't even have a surgery date yet. For those that are wondering, I know I did get Ann Wagner and a few others to ask about that. I probably won't put that on Facebook anyway. I think that's just a little much to be
TMI.
putting
Yeah,
on
exactly.
Facebook. But you know, we'll let you know when it's all over and you know, back home safe. But yeah, no, racing is what I want you guys to focus on. Definitely continue to lift me up in prayer for sure. But you know what? Use this off season to gather the parts and pieces and help Willie serve the tires.
Yeah, right.
Hey, get with Jeff with Get Stuck, man.
Yeah.
Get some Orange Dream. Shoot,
Know what to do with himself with
Ultra
some of the
dry.
rub.
Yeah.
Get you up. We had plenty of reps out here that could possibly show you once or twice. Look, Willie, this is what we're doing with this Get Stuck product. And you'll be like, have him on speed dial after that.
Yeah, right.
I'll be blocking the number. No, I'm
I'm at Jeff's.
Oh, yeah. No.
Oh, Jeff.
Yeah, definitely.
But yeah, man. So yeah, that's one of the things that I wanted to talk about was the classes for next year. What are some of the other things that you feel like it's okay to talk about right now, being that we don't have, and I'll give you a little time to think about it, because there are some things we just don't want to talk about right now because it's just at the infant stage, and this is a new competition committee, and they have the distraction of, oh crap, Merck's not going to be here, you know, which I have all the confidence in the world in you guys, but you're going to be taking on a lot more responsibility collectively. I think we should.
You think we should?
I
Okay.
think we should.
Okay.
So, one of the things, because we're going to have fewer classes next year, you guys can applaud. I know you guys are. We
Only
have,
Scott Davis. No.
Yeah, Scott Davis.
Only Scott Davis.
Only Scott Davis is
Hurry
cheering
up,
that.
hurry
Hurry
up.
up. Let's
I wanna
race.
go home.
Let's race. Let's race. One of the things that is on the table, and you can go ahead and talk about that.
Yeah. It's a constellation race, and it's pretty much opened up to for all classes, even outlaw guys. If you happen to lose first or second, buy into this particular race here, and what you call, but it's for all classes. And after second round, you can enter, and pretty much, you know, it's going to be a bracket race. And
To do it correctly.
yes,
That way,
yes.
Steve. We're still working on, and it will be a payout class.
Yes.
We're still working on percentages.
Correct.
We're working on that part, and but we're going to also allow the points to count. So it's
We
going to be
are.
like the Wacky
Okay.
Award.
Yeah.
You know what I
Oh,
mean?
okay.
You won't get a
Yeah.
murky.
Yeah.
You won't get a murky, but if you enter that, you know, we're going to definitely do something for that person at the end of the year.
Right.
You know.
But yeah, but it's just something that, you know, because we don't really have buybacks to say buybacks. And I mean, you know, if you lose first or second round, and you know your buddy's still in, so it's kind of like, you know, why not just, you know, if you're still here and you want to get in it, you know, you can still race. I mean, if it happens to me, I can
so
tell
you-
you, I'm gonna use it for testing. You know, so it's something cool to try.
So here's a question. All right, so I get into 3 classes.
Mhm.
I go out in 1 or 2 of them before second round, but I'm still in, for lack of better words, I'm still in Extreme Pro Stock, but I'm out in All Run and Street Eliminator.
Mhm.
Still race?
Is it the same car?
No.
If it is, as long as it's a different car that's entered. So if you're running 3 classes and you're out in 2, but you're in 1, the cars that you're out in, you can race as long as it's not the same car that's in the extreme.
Oh, okay.
Gotcha. And if you're caught, then you're disqualified.
Oh, easy, yeah.
Easy.
Yeah, because that's kind of like giving you free testing for your next round.
For your next round.
You know,
Exactly.
competition.
Especially with the conditions out here, that would be one heck of a thing. Boy, the crybaby race, boy, it was just swaying back and forth, man. I hate to change the subject again, but that was a tuner's race. And we knew it was going to be that way. I even made announcements. This is not going to be a race where you're going to set a track record. And they almost did.
34?
Well, yeah, he did. He stayed in the threes. Yeah, he stayed in the threes.
Yeah. It was weird. We were trying. It was just, was it a? And I think we wound up saying yes. It's a sanctioned race, so yes, it would count. But I don't know if he backed it up. I don't remember.
I don't think he did.
Yeah. Usually I'll get phone calls about that if they did, and we may need to look at that,
right?
Because then we'll go in there, change up everything. So every year you guys are getting faster and faster. So it was so good to see Frank Greer here, and Gary Campbell. I don't know what's up with him. He don't like Texas or something. I don't think he's been here yet. I don't know. Did he come to the March meet? I don't know. Gary, what's up, brother? Come on, Mike. Yeah, don't be coming at the March meet next year. I won't be there. Come to the Super Race or to the Super Nationals or something. I'll be there. I'm pretty excited about what RC is doing. RC Corvette, is doing, and you got that he's going to be really laying things out with Supa, and I love what he's done in his professional world. He is absolutely the guy, right? What he's done in for years back and with Rough Riders and all of that stuff, he's definitely capable of. In where it's just not so shotgun all over the place. I think they got the right guy at the helm there to reel it in and to.
I think it's gonna be pretty cool from just bits and pieces that I'm hearing. I ain't gonna speak nothing of it because that's not my job. Right. What I'm hearing, I think it's gonna be a good thing for everybody. Across.
I think so. There are some majors out there that have already earned the right protected for crybaby and disconnected. Other than today, I haven't even been out here.
It is good seeing you out here, though.
Yeah, it's always good to be here. You want to get out here, and I won't.
Don't try to come incognito either. Oh my God! Oh jeez!
I know
That was Trevor trying to get him to stay over there at the truck.
Did he really? Yeah, man. Look, when I put the schedule together and submitted it to the competition committee, I was so stoked about this bold 3 weekends a month schedule, and I want to say it was within 2 to 3 weeks I found out. Oh yeah, Mike, just kidding. You won't be part of it.
Yeah, right.
2.5, 3 weeks, on and off, just floored. But, I know that I have an extremely long prayer chain. I'm in a much better place mentally.
Yeah.
That's why you guys see me here right now laughing and joking and stuff like that. I'm looking forward, honestly. I'm going to talk about this for a second. I'm looking forward for the opportunity stuff because, y'all know I've been blowing and going for years doing this. I have the day job, that little guy up there in the sky flying overhead. Running 2 cities that was never intended to be that way. I was supposed to start sometimes 3 cities. Goodness gracious, because there was Artadillo, Louisiana, California, Puerto Rico, and then Florida. I feel like I'm still forgetting one. But like I said, I'm sorry. I did a recording, but I didn't release it. I wound up just putting out a statement. For those of you guys that want to start doing something, I'm still I'd love to help. I'd love to help. Look, I helped the folks up in Fort Walton. I didn't know I did that. They came to me and they met me somewhere, either at the Gators or at that Alabama race that I had gone to, and they shook my hand and said, "Thank you for what?" You know, and shaking their hands. They said, "Well, we called you years ago, and you helped us kind of get started." You know, and really, oh, awesome. You're welcome. You know, sweet. You know, I'm glad it worked out. You know, whatever. I do that all the time. People can reach out to me, and I want to help. You know, obviously, if you're local to one of our tracks, or you know, this track now is the only place that we're going to be. You know, we just ask that you don't race on the same weekend.
Yeah.
I'll help you. Just don't, you know, just don't hurt us. But yeah, I love to help, and you know, there's a church out in East Texas that I guess went on YouTube and contacted me, or actually, I'm sorry, through a friend, got with his church. I take that back. And so they contacted me about something. You know, it might be dirt, it might be something, but they're trying to get the youth kids off of these phones and back outside, and which was one of the purposes we started this league in the first place. Was to originally get my son out off the computer and outside, and then that grew and grew and grew to others, and we're over XYZ members now. I don't even know, but I'm excited to take I had to think about this for a second. I am excited to take a step back.
Right.
I know the league is in good hands, and I think it's also time. Maybe this is part of God's plan too. Honestly, is to take a step back. Let's see what you guys can do with it. Let's see what the fresher minds and ideas
Can take it.
Yeah, can take it. Absolutely.
Yeah.
Absolutely. And, you know, I won't be too far away, but I'm going to sit back and I'm going to learn something. I know that much.
Right.
We always say that. We're going to learn what we can do, should do, or shouldn't do.
Right.
But we're going to learn something. You know, we're
One
going to
of the
learn
two.
something. And that's a life lesson thing. Take chances. You're either going to learn what you shouldn't do,
Yeah, right.
or who you shouldn't be around, or what you absolutely, you know, can do, and the doors that you should open, or you should definitely run from. You know, so that's all I have, guys. I feel like there's more, but I just wanted to come on here to do a wrap-up show. We thought Q was going to actually be here. I know that he was asking me about, hey, is there going to be a wrap-up show? I was like, hey, man, come on the show. Help us out. But look, at the end of the day, the RC Darrow has never been just about RC drag racing. It has truly been about family. Excuse me. It's truly been about family, integrity, and it's all about showing up for one another, especially when things aren't easy.
Yeah.
You know, we lost Mitch Vaughn this year. I have not came to grips with that yet. I'm not going to lie to you. There was so often that I went to visit him at that nursing home. Not to take a picture with him, but I was proud to.
Yeah.
And he was proud to take a picture. And so, of course, I would share it. So many times we didn't. I took him for walks and stuff like that. This league has been way more. You know, I always say our tagline, fast, furious, family, fun. And it is fast. It can be furious, absolutely. But that family fun,
Well, it's the main thing.
it's the main thing.
Yes.
You know, it really is. I love to see your kids out here. Love our young gunners. That's another area that we need to try to rebuild. And we have some ideas. You know, RC Corvette has some great ideas, bringing back some other programs. I appreciate every single one of you. I truly do. I appreciate you guys sticking with us, praying for me and us. and believing in what we can build better together in 26. Be a part of it. Be a part of what's coming in 26, because it's going to be strong. We've got to make some bold moves. Some people are going to be upset over what classes are dropped, but again, we're trying to minus to multiply. We want to see you guys go minimum 3 rounds of racing. We would love for every class to have a bump spot, because again, this league was built on that. You qualify. If you make the field, you make the field. And for a decade, it was understood if you didn't make the field, you just come back next time.
That's it.
It wasn't until the pandemic, people were like, wait a minute, man, you mean I pay my money and I don't get to race? It's kind of what drag racing is.
Yeah. Yep.
But we understand and we listen, and so we made some corrections. I would love to see that pro-style bracket, if not next year, the year after. Let's rebuild us. We can be liberal and rebuild us in ways, but I would just love to see that. I loved, even at the big track, when I was the number 18, 19 qualifier going into Q2. I would purposely wait and to see how far we would fall. We didn't have the fastest car.
Right.
We had a car that can make the field.
Yeah.
And then much like, it was in quick 16 and quick 32. That was my favorite deal. You just had to make the field, then it turned into a bracket race.
Correct.
So
Yeah,
as long as you made the field,
Yeah,
you didn't have to be the fastest.
Exactly.
And unfortunately, that's the one class that we're definitely getting rid of, unless people just demand that it comes back. But there's nothing like me calling out the bump spot.
Yeah.
Right.
Going into the final round of qualifying, this is the bump spot. I'd love to do that, even if we do a quick 8 of some kind, but
Right.
it has to be fielded. We even did the deal where if you didn't make the field, you get back a certain percentage of your money. We paid it back.
Like half back of the, it was half of the entry.
Half
Yeah.
of the entry fee,
Yep.
back. And I did pay it back a few times, but we only had the opportunity to do it a few times.
Right.
So got to get back to the basics, organically rebuild this league, reach out to the hobby stores. We have Hobbytown, Wild Bill's Hobbytown right up the street, 10 minutes from the track. And that's on me. I really feel that, I was stretching myself so thin that I couldn't do the basic things, or I wasn't doing it effective enough. So if we can get some committees together like we used to have prior to the pandemic. We had a Super Nationals committee. We had a banquet committee, just like we had tech team, Toe Tech.
Toe Tech.
Yeah,
oh,
Toe
man.
Tech, man. And they were just committed to
Yeah,
doing
to do
exactly what
exactly
they
that.
were out
Right.
here to do. They didn't do any extra. They didn't do any less.
Yep.
They were Toe Tech.
I got disqualified a couple times being over voltage.
Them ladies didn't play. They were ladies too, bro.
Oh, wow.
They didn't play, Jack.
Couldn't sweet talk them?
Yeah.
The one time I grabbed the wrong car.
Yeah.
We talk about integrity. I mentioned integrity a few minutes ago. Dude, all these Traxxas funny cars look identical with the bodies off.
Yeah, right.
And I grabbed my body, my son's car, my radio, turned the car on, but it went 6 feet, hit the wall. It was weird. And it rolled the wall all the way down the track like I didn't have any control over it. But for some reason, the other guy crossed the center line. So I was awarded the win. I turn around and still confused, but I still pump my fist because I think it was either Jerry or Daryl Chacon on the microphone said I won. I get over to my pit area, and my son is looking at me like this. I'm like, I know, Josh. That was weird. It doesn't really happen. He goes, no, Dad, that was my car. Yeah, there was no microphones around. I walked off. I had to come back in disbelief, and I was like, dude, I qualified with one car, raced the other car. That's a DQ. Daryl or Jerry looked at me like, you sure? I'm like, dude.
Yep.
Yeah, that's what the rule book says. And all right, that'll be the last person that's going to cheat, because no one knows.
Right.
I got on the microphone and disqualified myself, and it cost my son the championship that year. It cost him the championship that year.
Yep.
I felt 2 inches tall, but I was proud, nonetheless, of the integrity of the league.
Right.
And how if I can do that and my son loses the championship, there shouldn't just be, That's why we hold everybody to a higher standard. I know we don't tech as much as we used to, hardly at all. But it just seems like with the style of racing that we're doing today, you try to overpower that track and see what happens.
You ain't going far. If you do, you're going into the wall.
Yep.
Or crossing the line and hitting the ramp. Yeah, I learned the hard way.
So, I'm not saying that tech should go away or will be away always. I think it's important in some aspects. I know dry tire, I think that definitely needs to be policed in tech.
Yeah, I should think so. It definitely should be, because, what I say dry tire is totally different, but a lot of the tires not dry and stuff, so. But they got a new thing, they tech on the board, and they don't pick the board, whatever that is they use, they don't pick it up. But,
we're out of here too. Hold on one second. Piggy, thank
sir.
you and
Yes,
your
sir.
family for everything that you guys have done and mean to this league. I mean that from the bottom of my heart.
Yes, sir.
You guys came in like gangbusters and haven't left, and thank
We
you.
ain't going nowhere.
Amen to that. Appreciate you guys so much. Thank you for being part of the competition committee,
Yes, sir.
being here tonight to discuss some of the things that we're going to be covering over the off season. And for everyone out there, thank you for joining us on the Pit Pass Show, season 25 wrap up, or season, yes, that. It sounds like it was 25 years. We're only like 12 or 13 years in. Anyway, you guys, God bless you. Have a wonderful night, and we'll see you at the starting line
See you.
next year.
next year. God bless.
And Merry Christmas to you all.
Yes.
Yep.
Merry Christmas, Happy New Year. Take care. Thank you, guys.
No problemo.
Go and let me put this out real quick. Let me help you get